Sénégal.
Jana to kero masono manga jangale gita do bouche do faywa. Nge elef to tolo chi exam linga sarla am the fita mugena.
Assuré colo.
I'm back with grammar, pronouns. I know we had already talked about pronouns. The pronouns, you know what the pronouns are. First, second, third pronouns. You know, I, you, he, she. And today we're going to look at pronoun preference. Pronoun preference. What is a pronoun preference? It's simple. It's all about the preferred gender pronoun. Preferred gender pronouns. Gender pronoun preference. It's about, you can as well say it's the preferred gender pronoun. Gender, already you know that it's either he or she. Gender is masculine or feminine. That's a gender. And so it's the breaking down of this masculine or feminine. That makes it preferred. Preferred. And oftentimes in the English language, it's the subject, the object, and the possessive. And the possessive. The subject, the object, and the possessive pronoun, if you wanted to. This is a possessive pronoun. That's how it's divided when you want to label normally. Oftentimes, a possessive pronoun, it's been taken off, stepped off, and they only settle for the subject and the object. But it's better to know three. That's how it is. And so pronoun preference is all about the gender pronouns. And the gender pronoun, it's about the way one person introduces the gender of another person. Like, for example, I, and there's Mary over there. If I don't want to use a person's name, Mary, which is the noun, I'll say she. So the preferred gender pronoun is she. Mary is over there. She is over there. Paul is behind me. He is behind me. And so the gender or the preferred pronoun, it's one person or the speaker talking about someone else in a gender form, unlike the name, without using the name. That is a preferred pronoun. And so I said the preferred pronoun has three forms. The subject, what is the subject? For example, she is a subject. For the masculine, subject, and what is it going to be? Her. And the possessive is going to be hers. Possessive, possessive means something that is being possessed by someone. That it's been acquired, it's been owned by someone. It's hers. Oh, who has this book? Oh, it's Mary's. It's hers. Preferred pronoun. And then what's the next one? He, his, his. And then for plural, what do you have? What do you have for plural? Them, they, them, yours. So it's feminine, and oftentimes, or you can say feminine, or female, or feminine, or male, or masculine. Masculine. These are the preferred pronouns. So preferred pronouns are often just the terminology that you use when you don't want to use the noun of that, the noun which is like the noun of the person, which is Mary or Paul, but you prefer to use the object or the subject. That's when one person describes another person using a preferred pronoun. Then you use this. It's often used like that. Oh, it's her book. Oh, it's his book. She's coming. He's sitting. It's theirs. It's they are coming. You know, these are the different preferred pronouns, and it's divided: the subject, the object, and the possessive. Possessive means about things, who has an ownership of something, the ownership of something. You know, it's hers, it's his, it's theirs. She, her, put it in capital. He, his, they, them, theirs. These are the pronoun preference, which is often called the preferred gender pronoun. Gender, preferred gender, I told us because it's male and female, it specializes, it's often male and female, which has been broken down in object, subject, and possessive. And in other words, you can also use them as in the feminine, as in the masculine, or in the male, or in the female. I know that now things are kind of evolving and changing, and people don't want to really identify themselves with a particular gender, and you're thinking, oh, how do we address that? Is it binary? Is it bi-gender? How do you address that? Sometimes, oftentimes, you just put it neutral because it's a little bit difficult, and things are kind of changing, and people are moving from he to she, from she to he, or just don't want to be labeled whatever, and it's difficult to name it. And you cannot say it because it are for non-breathing objects, so you can say it for a person, and so oftentimes you just say that person, that person, that person, this person. It's better that way if you cannot really have a gender preference, because people don't actually have a gender preference, because that is what it's all about. It's a gender preference, and it's a pronoun, and a pronoun replaces a noun. And I told us that a noun is the name of a person, place, or thing. But in this situation, it's about persons. And so it replaces the Paul, the Mary, that name of a person, the Paul, the Mary, the John, and it comes in with the he, a she, or his or her for the object, or hers or his for possessive objects. So it's important that we know that. It's imperative that we know this, so that if you have a sentence and you're asked to identify preferred pronouns or gender pronouns, you should automatically know what it is. You should be able to underline, to label, to bold it, because you should know what it is. Okay? So these are it. And then what about another term called liaison? Liaison. Oftentimes we say liaison. What is liaison? Liaison is simply like the middleman. It's a link between two things. The liaison. It's a strong relationship. It's a strong link that links up two things or two persons. In communication, in a sentence, there is what you call the liaison. Liaison. Liaison, it's the middleman. It merges two things so that it makes sense, and so that is what you have as a liaison. So oftentimes, if you have two sentences and you're trying to put them together, you should be able to use a particular word to liaison it, to link them, to merge them, to put them together so that it makes sense. So for example, the secretary is a liaison between the receptionist and my boss. That is a liaison. It means she is the link. She is a passing through. She is the channel. So a liaison should be something that you pass through in order for it to make sense in two sentences. Well, today the class has come to an end. I hope that we've learned something about possible and impossibility, the liaisons. And then we've talked about migration. We've talked about rural migration. And then we finished up with pronoun preference. Go and get your ideas. Ask me questions. Please write to me. I'm Teacher Raisa. I'll be ready, and I would love to answer your questions. Go, stay blessed, and happy Feast of the Lamb. Bonne fête de la Tabaski. Thank you.
Sénégal.